temple. Your one and only temple. You are living in the holy places.
Greetings and welcome to the Body Temples Live, cleansing to unlock our DNA. Our intention with this video series, our live Facebook series, is to actually just get your mind going, awaken your whole thought pattern to the fact that you already are genius, one of your genes. And your genes are locked in under constipation, congestion, and cholesterol. The Body Temple Institute serves as a beacon for those who are seeking to start and be a part of this health revolution. Because the first part about getting free is to free yourself. I'm here with Baba Mantu, Ashakir.
And greetings, everybody. Just ending today actually a 47-day juice fast, so it's fitting that we do this on this day. I feel good. Actually, I feel great. In a split second, my third eye gonna say "Ja." That's how I feel. Real. It's for me. We'll talk a little bit today more specifically about juice fasting, but it has been a fruit juice fast for me. I didn't do the vegetable juices for reasons I'll talk about later. There's different levels. This was a more advanced, I guess you would say, juice fast. For most people, especially if they've never done a lot of juice fasting or long fasting, I would suggest also doing some vegetable juices for slowing down the elimination. But it's been beautiful, you know. Last week we didn't really get to talk about it, but I was on day 40 last Sunday. So coming off today, we'll talk about a little bit about how to break a fast or suggestions. It's not just one way. There's not just one way to do anything. So yeah, feeling good today.
Let's talk about some reasons why people would enter a fast, and then why would they choose. Let's talk about the different. We talked about last week more so why people chose to do the different levels and the different levels of fast.
Right.
In essence, we kind of even touched on why people would do a fast because of the toxins and things like that we ingest, the environment that we're in, the stress we take in, things like that.
Right. One of the things I'll quickly mention is some of the reasons you should not do it. Do not get into anything just because it's a trend. That's not a good reason why. You know, because it'll take you down some roads where you won't know how to navigate. You know, now.
And nobody else is going to be there with you. Those
Right,
other
because
people
it's
participate
because
in the
a lot
trend.
of it's driven by propaganda in the first place. Now we have very good reasons to cleanse in this world today because everything in our environments, at least in these cities, is toxic.
Right.
You know, so with that in mind, there are very good reasons to cleanse, detoxify, however you want to say it, fast during this time. But because of that, there needs to be a safe way to do it, because you know you don't want to unlock and unleash too much stuff all at once, where it's overwhelming to handle.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely we need to cleanse our DNA, and I totally agree. Our DNA is already something special. You're just unlocking it. And that's what they know about our people and about our innate geniuses and abilities and things that the world marvels at. But it has been covered up in this industrialized world. Let's keep it real. And so we do have some work to do. And that's what we're about, the Body Temple.
Fasting is expressly personal, specifically personal. Fasting is specifically personal. Cleansing is specifically personal. Just like when you take a bath, generally you don't do it going live when you take a bath.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It is very personal. As a matter of fact, it's also relative. Cleansing is relative. Why? Because it doesn't just relate to how you have lived, that's one. But it also means that you're cleansing your ancestral relatives' habits and behaviors. So if you had that one ancestor that was obese and had a food addiction, you might also carry that same food addiction. Your intention to cleanse is to break the habit
Right.
of participating in that food addiction. Your intention of cleansing and fasting may be to break a mental or emotional or spiritual habit that your ancestors may also have had and to put you on a better track. Greetings, Mama. Greetings.
Greetings.
We also are, so we're not just cleansing as a matter of vanity, but we're actually detoxifying ourselves for the intention of leading our ancestors off of a self-destructive path and onto a self-constructive path.
Right.
That is our intention.
Right. And we do want to mention before we are partnering today with our dear sister, Sister Nzinga, Sweet Sister Splash. Hopefully she'll be on here in a minute.
She has juice splashes. She has beautiful juices, delicious juices for detoxification as well as just everyday health maintenance.
Hey, greetings. There she is.
We are so grateful for her sponsorship and her support of our cleansing lives that we are.
And we're grateful that she has embarked upon a journey like that, because there's a lot of things you can do for, even for resources, for what people just refer to as money.
Yes.
But to actually pick something that you're passionate about because of the health of our people, we applaud that.
Yes.
So we just want to shout out our sister Nzinga Bird, Sweet Sister Splash, the Juice Splash. It's a beautiful thing, and we really love you for that and many other things.
And if you could please post your flyer in Zynga.
Yes, sis, when you get a chance, post your flyer.
Thank you, because it won't let me do it on this side. Okay. So as we move on, you know what's interesting is there's a lot of equipment out there to do juicing with.
Ah, that's right.
And there's a lot of different ways to juice. A lot of times we're thinking, oh, I need to have a juicer, but you know, brother asked on the event page, what do I do? I don't have a juicer. What can we do?
Right, and I certainly would suggest that someone with a if you don't have a juicer, you have a very good blender, and because you can blend foods and even strain them if need be, if you really want to have a lighter juice, or you can begin your juice fast with blended juices and then begin to strain them later on as you want to get closer to a lighter juice fast. Now, you can go all the way from a little cheap juicer to the Norwalk juicer that costs like $3,000 or something like that. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out there. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I've had a lot of juices over the years, and the one that I'm using right now, I think, is it Black & Decker?
It's Black & Decker.
Yeah, it's a Black & Decker, but I'm gonna tell you where I found it. At Goodwill for $7. We had a family member used our other Champion juicer, and it met a fatal end. Let's just leave it like that. And I was like, man, I need a juicer. And so we were at the Goodwill, and I saw one. I was like, this can't be. But I would never really look for one before. And it was actually new. I mean, I looked at all the parts, the blade that spins around. It's the same setup as the Champion, and I got it for $7. So keep your options open, man. The universe is not that static and stuck. It can manifest in your life in a million different ways.
What about we also receive the juicer, Big Mouth? What's the man's name who does the juicer? The one Big Mouth juicer that we have before.
Yeah, that's not Champion.
That's,
we've had a Champion too. That is a Jack LaLanne.
Jack LaLanne juicer.
And we've had
that
about
we
3 of
received.
those.
that we received from
What's up?
as a gift
What-
from
what
a
do you
person
Ray Ray?
who we did work for, because a lot of work is not done. We don't necessarily always let the devil pass between us with that money. We may also give gifts in exchange for work that we do, and
Right.
we receive the juicer as a gift.
Right, and that's a part of a cleansing to unlock our DNA, because
Yeah.
this we begin to see more options, more ways of relating to one another than just this capitalistic paradigm.
Right.
Yeah, we need resources right now. I mean, but resources are resources. That's not always money.
Mhm.
In reality, we only use money to get other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times we can cut out that middleman in the process and deal with each other with things that we both need.
Mm-hmm. So, with juicing, what why do you choose? Why did you choose to do only fruit juice? What do fruit juices do
I've
for your
been I've
body?
been fasting, of course, as my mate, but I've been fasting for 20 something years now, about probably 25, and I chose to do a fruit only fast just for the as a more eliminative fast. I didn't think that I would need to. I would have drank vegetable juice if I needed to. If things got too aggressive and I need to slow down the elimination of toxins and waste, I would have done so. But fruit is the most dissolving substance that you can take in the form of a juice to really get toxins out.
Mhm.
Now, people, chlorophyll and all of these things have their place also
And boosting
in
your
fasting.
oxygen and things like that.
Right,
But we're seeking to clean.
right. So this was more of a purely cleansing, stripping type fast for me, because some things are elevating in my life and in my whole liberty right now, and going to another level again. And the juice fast really helped to kick it off.
Now you can cleanse for a lot of people want to cleanse because they're carrying a lot of toxic weight. But then also we actually all as Africans, as black people here in America, we came up hearing about people fasting for spiritual reasons in church, so to speak.
Yeah.
Some people fasted for 40 days, blah blah blah, or even as Rasta people fast
Right.
XYZ. But could you tell people how much you weighed in 47 days ago?
I don't know. I
What
don't
is
know,
it?
but I mean I lost quite a bit of weight. That wasn't really a focus because I could do that eating over time. So it was a combination of really wanting to detox, really wanting to elevate my liberty again, to a very much primarily raw based liberty again, and the spiritual aspirations, as well. So it was definitely a spiritual fast as well.
Now there we go. Let's get into this. Understanding that when we're eating a lot of meats, they're very acidic. When we're eating a lot of starches, they're also very acidic. When we're eating a lot of wrong food combinations, they give us a lot of gas and things like this. Our bodies cannot function properly, meaning the reason that we use only 10% of our brains is because the other parts of our brains are always malnourished and devitalized through the types of foods that we're consuming and the congestion that our foods cause. With that being the case, we have to begin to even conceive of what would happen if we lightened our load. What would happen if we changed the type of fuel that we put in our bodies?
Yeah, that's a very good point, because I'm glad that you mentioned the flesh eating and all of that. Let me give a great disclaimer here. That's not something that's been in our household for 20 something years, since the early 90s. So this is a kind of a different from where I'm coming from, and that's why no two people's cleanses should be alike. It's all based
It's
upon
all
your
intimate.
goals and where you're coming from, and the level of experience. Because this isn't even the longest fruit juice fast I've done. I've done one for longer before. I guess about 10 years ago, I did a 60-day fast. So, that's not nothing that I'm saying in any type of way to brag. But it's just based upon your experience, your goals, and what you're trying to do. But we have found, I want to stick to the topic, juice fasting to be very effective in helping to cleanse our DNA. Once you determine that something is healthy, understand then it's healthy for all levels of your family. Now, I would never advise anybody to put a child on nothing crazy. I would definitely advise against that. But when a child has a fever, do not have the fear to let them fast for a couple of days. That's what's going to make the fever go away, along with some bowel cleansing. So, this is something we've looked at over a very long period of time. And so understand that the principle is not what Western society teaches you. It has nothing to do with starvation at all. It's exactly the opposite. It makes your assimilation so much better. So these are all reasons why to juice fast and use juices to cleanse.
Just like to use juices to cleanse, literally they already have placed lemons in our cleanser, in our dishwashing detergents, in our laundry detergents, in our cleaning, floor cleaning, home cleaning, because lemon dissolves. Our
Right.
issue with congestion is that those starches that we consume begins to put that, just like when you have potatoes and they have that milky residue.
Right.
That milky residue can line the walls of your intestines, can become so thick that it becomes literally a cloud in your womb, literally causing infertility issues. It can literally cause blockages in your lungs and be the sole cause of asthma. It can cause that milky cloud over your irises. That's the
Affect
cause
your
of
vision.
cataracts and affect
Yeah.
your vision. Potatoes. So we're eating potato chips. We're eating French fries. We're eating fried potatoes. We're doing all of this. What about even in refined flours and breads? And then what about, and when I say that, I mean even wheat bread, you have to watch what's in your wheat bread. Because that wheat bread can also have all of those dough conditioners and things in it, much less wheat in and of itself.
Right. That's absolutely true. So that's why that's what led us to use juice fasting as a tool.
Yeah.
A tool amongst other things that you'll need to do in your whole health arsenal, to really keep your family safe, healthy, prosperous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely that. Now, we talked about my fast and everything, and that was just because it kind of coincided with today, and I didn't really do a video that really talking about my experience, so we kind of worked it in. But for the average person, for most people, here's what we suggest. You can ease into a juice fast, and you can call it a juice fast. Don't care what other people say. If you're blending and that's a juice fast for you,
It's liquid.
it's liquid. I mean, your digestive system is getting a much needed rest. We try not to get too technical over here because it really discourages people rather than encourage them to do something that really is going to help them.
Mm-hmm.
So, blend. If you want to do pure juices, which is what I choose to do, you can move into fruit juices in the mornings. For the average person, I would suggest they would do something like cucumber, carrot, those types of juices at lunchtime, more vegetable based, and then one at dinner time. Let's face it, we still, even on a fast, think in terms of mealtime. That's just something that's deeply ingrained in us. So don't beat yourself up with that. Take your juice at mealtime. So it kind of like subdues your subconscious a bit about not eating, and that's just another
Mm-hmm.
tool you can use too.
Some juice recipes. This is what everybody, I was saying. Who wants juice recipes? Let's do this. Now, these, mind you, let's say you don't want to commit to 3, 6, 9, or 21 days of fast. However, you can start your day off You can decide that you're only going to eat you're only going to eat one meal a day. And you're going to juice for breakfast and lunch. You can discern that for breakfast all the way till you wake up, from when you wake up till noon, you're going to drink fresh juices. This is very good for you because the nutrient value of the juice is vitally important. You still need to get that in you. So think about it like this: when you break fast, break fast in the morning, and you're going to consume something, then you should consume a fruit, only some fruits. So all of the fruit that you like, it may be berries, it may be citrus, it may be go all the way into pineapples or mango juices and things like that, or even melons and things. Go ahead and put those together. Combinations, somebody asked me about last week, and what's the rule of thumb? Melons really
alone.
They should
stand
only
alone
be done
fruit.
alone.
Yeah,
They should not be.
well, put it like that. People use combinations with them. We prefer not to. I tend to think of them as something that kind of digests better by itself, especially like watermelon and stuff like that. But it's not the end of the world if you mix it with something. What will be your guide is whether or not it gives you indigestion.
Mm-hmm.
If it gives you indigestion, then that's how you learn.
That's how you know that that's not a good food combination for you.
Right.
And that's the thing too.
Or you don't like the taste of it with strawberries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As much as you thought you would.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's okay. That's how we learn. You're not going to really hurt yourself in the juicing realm as much as if you were eating food and you eat watermelon and then you eat bread and you eat all of that stuff in the same meal. You definitely could cause some serious disturbances in your digestion with that.
Also, another food combination that a person asked me, she asked about rules of thumb, and so I said that I felt like she asked rules of thumb for fruits and vegetable juices, because a lot of times we end up putting fruit and vegetables together. You may find that some people may make apple and kale or something like that. And so what I was saying is that seeds, fruit and vegetables with seeds can walk together, can be juiced together. And when it comes to root and fruits, roots and fruits can come together. For instance, carrot, ginger, and beets can be juiced with the fruit because they're generally sweet. Or ginger, when in and of itself, is a stimulant and can go with either fruit or vegetable.
Right, help aid the digestion of it and everything.
Also, in dealing with chlorophylls, what I call chlorophylls, thus kale, collard green, or spinach, or celery. These greens can go. They can go either way. They can go with their astringent taste can go with fruit and hide behind fruit, or they can go with all vegetables. But
Right. So we try not. We have I
but melons
realize
stand alone.
some things I have personal preferences. Some things we found to digest better than others. But you will find just like in juicing kale greens, which is very popular. Some people just can't do it.
They can't have
It's a
it.
very strong taste. It's a very strong sensation when drinking kale juice. You know, and so your body will kind of be your guide, and so we try not to be so dogmatic about that, but
But
it-
do.
yeah, but you should be very aware of what your body is going through, and then you know that's your ultimate research laboratory, your own body. Now keep in mind too, I'm sorry, that when we say fruits and vegetables, my idea is a cucumber is a fruit, a tomato is a fruit, and you can also mix that with a green leafy vegetable, spinach,
Right.
or kale or something like that. So keep that in mind. I mean, that might technically, that's what I'm saying, it's also technical. You might technically be combining a fruit and a vegetable in those things, even though you think it's all vegetable. So do what works for you, but there are some general rules, like Mama Mawusi just said, to follow with that.
Fasting is very intimate. It is very individual. It is a very personal thing. Remember that it is relevant. It is relative. And also, as we do these different rules of thumb, you write those things down, different things you're going to put together. I want you to also make yourself a juicing diary, because I want you to write down the things that don't feel good, days that you don't feel good, days that you do feel run down, days that you feel overwhelmed, days that you feel calm, balanced, normal. What food specific, what combination of juices, what combination of how you put together your meal today, or what even did meditation support you in being balanced today.
Right, right. And that's one of the reasons why I don't suggest a lot of mixtures, because your body will go through a lot of things during the cleanse, during the juice fast. So don't complicate things too much, because where you're trying to figure out why. Was it the kale? Was it this? Just don't mix a lot of things. It's just simpler to pinpoint what your body's actually going through.
What foods do you like is what I would say. What foods do you like?
Yeah, you might run into trouble there.
No. What juices and what vegetables and fruits do you like?
Right.
What vegetables and fruits do you like? Stick with those during the fast, because the intention is to stay balanced, so that your body can do the work it needs to do, and your mind can settle down and rest. The intention of a fast is to rest.
Right, right. Which is another reason why I say, understand that you're cleansing.
The intention of a cleanse is
You're actually removing toxins. Don't go into a fast with the idea of. Don't go into a fast looking for protein. To me, that's like kind of a bad approach, because then you'll end up doing nut milks the whole time when your intention was to cleanse. So that's what I'm saying. There's some kind of nutritional paradigms that we picked up being a part of this society that can kind of get in the way of a fast, because you're really focusing on another aspect of your health at that time.
Together we will win. Pamoja Tuta Shinde. We are, the juicing recipes that I have for us are for a liver cleanse: carrot, apple, beet, celery, spinach, and ginger. The reason for the carrot is that it is the oil, the A, that's the vitamin A that you need, the oil. The beetroot is that blood booster and builder. Celery is a stimulant. Spinach is that chlorophyll that you need. Another one, I would call this a type of island treat. You would do apple, orange, lemon, carrot, and spinach. Then acidosis. Acidosis is where we're coming from a place in which we're eating a lot of meats, a lot of breads. Our pH balance is very high, we're very stiff. Those people are usually very stiff, and they really can't. Yoga is irritating to them. They're also their breath smells very overwhelming in the morning. This person could possibly do a juice of watermelon, lime, and basil. This can help with acidosis. You can put blueberry in it, but the watermelon will be very overwhelming. I would say watermelon, lime, and basil. As a detox juice or a lunch, because like I said, in the morning, your morning should be full of fruits. But then when we go into lunch, a detox juice will be tomato, celery, cucumber, carrot, parsley for the kidneys, bell pepper, and spinach. What this will do is help you to feel like you've had a salad. I would also throw in a piece of garlic in that, and also pour in some olive oil in that, and you can blend all of that, and that will give you a really nice and satisfying liquid juice.
Now, two quick things about that came to my mind. For one, with the garlic, be very moderate in the beginning, especially if you're not seasoned in using garlic in juice. Don't go crazy, and you
Put
can
four
always add
cloves
more.
in it.
Yeah, you just start with one little clove, and see how you do with that, because it can be intense. The other thing that was interesting on that last list for the detox, you mentioned was the parsley. Now, think about the whole thing you mentioned, people have strong breath in the morning. Think about even in restaurants when they put the parsley on there. That's one of the reasons why, supposedly for help to freshen your breath and all of these
It's
things.
really for digestion.
And for digestion. I mean, because digestion is why the breath is strong in the first place, bad digestion.
Mm-hmm.
So understand, these are things that have always kind of been in our midst, but we didn't. We have to put the pieces together to really see their importance.
Yes.
So yeah, those are good things to really detoxify in a way, in a balanced way, and it won't be so aggressive like citrus fruits exclusively or anything like that. It'll kind of detox in a more reasonable rate for
Nice.
most people.
Okay. We will conclude this week's
Well,
Johnny?
Mama didn't put up the link. Ask Mama Nzinga, please, can you put up the link to your flyer for your juices for all those in the Cincinnati area?
We are going to move forward. Man, that link will be there later today. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure, go to the event page, and you will find even more information on juicing and more recipes already locked down and already written out there, because I'll go ahead and type those in. In addition to that, I want you to check out our site, our website, for more information, thebodytemple.ning.com. That bodytemple.ning.com will have even more information on cleansing, juicing, fasting, as well as the levels of cleansing, juicing, and fasting. Sheba Splash. Cleansing, juicing, and fasting that we can attain to.
Right.
So,
Yeah, definitely hit us up on the Body Temple. We've been up since 2009, and really, it has definitely been a love for our people and wanting us to improve our health overall.
oh my goodness. I'm sorry, you all. You have been talking the whole time. We could not even see
Yeah,
it.
it didn't show us. I'm sorry about that. We
See
didn't.
that.
Okay.
Okay, and Zinga says she'll be detoxing for 7 days, the 20th through the 27th, and we'll have detox juices available every day. If anyone would like to join her, please give her a call. Her number is in the text comments.
Okay.
Okay, so also Marissa, hey, how you doing, Marissa? She said she loves avocados. Is that a good fruit to use?
Yeah, and Zinga gave a great answer. They're great in smoothies, not so much for juices. That might be a good way to go into a juice cleanse. You know, or just the liquid cleanse in general if you want to just do like smoothie type stuff and liquefied foods. But you definitely, okay, Mama Zinga asked about nut milks. It's okay to transition into a fast like that, but at some point, if you really want to get deep into cleansing, nuts tend to slow down the elimination a whole lot more than fruits and vegetables. So, I mean, we're definitely not anti-nut milk. It's a beautiful thing, especially if you make it yourself and you don't buy it in a carton.
There are levels, and there are levels that you take because the body process. The body goes through processes to even begin to take in solid food from a baby. That's from when you're a baby, you're doing only breast milk until you go through the stages in order to build up to have a whole plate of food. So with that being the case, you're going to go through the stages in order to pare back until you eat less, and sustain on more and receive more nutrients from less. Now, what I would suggest is in the beginning, if you do not fast regularly, that's not what you do. This is a personal experience. Go into your personal self and say, well, I have not fasted except when I was sick.
Right.
So if such is the case, then I'm going to do a voluntary fast, I'm going to step up and fast, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with eating mucusless. I'm not going to jump off on a liquid fast because I can't afford to fail. The reason I can't afford to fail is because I'll never come back and do it again if I fail.
Right. And
So-
what she means by mucusless is raw and cooked, for those starchless fruits and vegetables.
So that means no potatoes, no rice, no breads,
Right.
no beans, no grains of any kind. So with that, and then no processed foods of any kind whatsoever. Avocados sit right there on the edge. Nuts sit right there on the edge. So we're gonna make those be your emergency foods. I feel dizzy. I feel woozy. Oh my goodness. Emergency, get you an avocado. You know what I'm saying? Emergency. How about also green peas? Are also that sits right there on the edge. That's that emergency food. Put some peas in your steamed vegetables, in your big salads, in your, and even make a nut milk if you must, in order to keep yourself from going over the edge. And then, once you have done that for 2 to 3 weeks, you're gonna find that your body is lighter. It's cleansed. That might be like, okay, I'm fine. You may want to keep doing that 4 times a year. No quinoa. No quinoa. That's not an edge food. So
Well, what we mean by that is on
It's
an
a grain.
actual juice fast, because we talked last week, and we'll do more talking about that in the future. About just doing a cleanse, but yeah, on the juice fast, no quinoa.
let me lead up to that. I want to go back over these points,
Okay.
and I want to lead up to a juice fast because, okay, so quinoa is a grain. Since quinoa is a grain, we're not going to use grains because grains have a tendency, even though quinoa has an alkaline balance and things like that, we still want to. And it's actually a seed grain, but we're not going to use quinoa because in the mind it's a grain. So we're going to use avocado. We're going to use peas. And we're going to use maybe nut milks at the heaviest. Then when we move, I figured. That's why I said, no, I still want to address that, Marissa. I wanted to still address it because even though we began this talking about juices, we still need to address the levels, I think. And I think that that's good. I think it's good to address it. I think it's good to go back and go ahead and address it. And then you might feel like after the 2 weeks of doing no starches and no mucus, you might feel like that's good. You're good, and you might want to try this type of fast at least 4 times a year. Then you want to once you get to the point where you can do the 4 times a year with peace, if your body is at peace and your body's not struggling to do that, then you'll move on to where you can then have some days where you don't eat any solids, but they are all juice days. Mind you, when you are doing the mucusless diet, the mucusless fast with no starches, you are also juicing too. You can juice during that time. You can also take in medicinal teas. You can also take in laxative teas to get those bowels clean. You can also take in different fruit smoothies in the morning and straight juices, lemon water, in order to clear your liver and kidneys. Those things are key, and those are a part of a fast and cleanse. I also want you all to conceive of moving to a next level for which you're doing some solids, but also a lot of liquid juices and teas also. So thus you'll have more days where your fallback foods of your emergency foods will no longer be avocados or nuts or peas, but it will become a spinach salad. That's your fallback because you're going to be on juices. That's a second level where when you wake up you're on juices, when you eat lunch you're on juices, and maybe for dinner you might do a salad. See, that's lightening up, and that's taking yourself through the processing yourself gently and with care. That's how you would do that, and then you will move into those more advanced levels of all and only juice and liquids. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I got
Yeah.
exuberant.
So yeah, we will put up the link for last week where you can see that video, Sister Marissa. So you can check it out. There's a lot of good information in there too. And come to the Body Temple, please. We're gonna put the link in after we end this, because we got a lot of information on there. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of levels. We're not dogmatic about any of them, because we realize our people at all different levels of walk on this journey.
That's right. So, I don't want to miss anybody's comment. I hope everybody did comment from last week. Comment from earlier. I think we got them all. I think we got them all. Now, we can be found, like we said, at thebodytemple.ning.com. We also can be found here on Facebook, and we will post a link to our Facebook page. We are always available. Mama Mawusi Ashakir, as well as Baba Mantu Ashakir. You'll be able to find us on Facebook and be able to link with us, ask us inboxes, and ask us any questions that you may need in order to determine a strategy for yourself and how to navigate a cleanse. We really just wanted to do these live videos just so we can make cleansing and fasting easy and accessible and effective for you. If you need any further help, give us a call. Many blessings.
Peace, y'all.
You don't shed no tears, no tears.